Hello everyone, welcome back to EPL Fantasy Tips. I'm your host, Simon Berrygrove. Well, this game week, I made one transfer. I brought in Sterling, and unfortunately there was some bad news today about Rodrigo. He won't be returning until, I believe, in early October. So I've put him on the bench this game week, and I will definitely have to transfer him out in game week 7. But for game week 6, I brought in Sterling, and I've captained him. Let's go over the back end of the squad first, and then bring you in back to the defender group here. The three strong defenders that I keep in for most of my game weeks, and then on to the midfielders and the 3 strikers. Alright, so for the goalkeeper, we have Alisson. Again, he plays every game for Liverpool, but unfortunately Liverpool has not been playing as well. Unfortunately, they've been conceding. But, I think eventually he will put up a shutout. Fixtures coming up. We have Everton and Wolves. I could see him probably blanking those 2 teams, and then Chelsea. Unfortunately, there's some red games coming up, so I will likely slot in my other keeper for those game weeks. On to the defenders. Cancelo. He got a goal against Forest in game week 5, and the first 2 game weeks he played exceptional. Yes, 46.9% of the people in the league have selected him, and I think that number is starting to go down, so if you have some money available, you might want to pick up Cancelo. Alright, and yes, Reece James. He is doing very well for Chelsea, even though in the previous game week he did not play. I think he'll be back on the pitch against West Ham. And also Chelsea has lots of green in their schedule coming up. Van Dijk. He had a goal in game week 4. Only 14% of the entire FPL. All of the people in the league, there's not many people who have picked him, so I think he's a better pick for of all the Liverpool defenders, just because not many people have picked him, and he usually scores goals or puts in an assist or 2. Alright. And then on to the midfielders, we have Wilfred Zaha, Mr. Consistency himself. Played game week 3, 2 goals. Did not play in game week 4, but then he returned and scored a goal. Yes, he returned in game week 5 and scored a goal against Brentford. I will keep him in the squad probably until January. Alright, so then we have Ward-Prowse playing Wolves. I originally had Rodrigo in instead of him, but since Rodrigo has some problems, I've put Ward-Prowse back in. He has lots of green in the schedule. I think he's a great value pick for the entire season. You might want to, I would keep him in until late February. Alright, and Sterling, as I mentioned before, he's really starting to heat up here. And only 9%, just a little bit over 9% have picked him. Chelsea they have a very easy schedule coming up for the majority of the first half of the season. So I'd slot him in, and any other Chelsea player that you think will do well. And Pascal Gross, my surprise pick that I thought would only be a temporary hold, but I'm going to keep him in for a while. Again, Brighton is they have a fairly easy schedule. for most of the first half. There is some tough sledding here, but you can always put him on the bench for those games. Right, and then for the forward group, again, I haven't made any changes there. We have Mitrovic against Spurs. There's really no reason to transfer him. He's got a goal in every game week almost, and even in the first game week he had 2 against Liverpool. Even though the 2 games coming up are difficult, I think he still has a good chance of scoring. And after that, it's mostly green. Ivan Toney, I have him as a secondary captain here in case Sterling does not play for whatever reason. He has done well for the first 3 game weeks, hasn't scored in the last couple, so he's probably due for a goal or an assist coming up. And Brentford has lots of green in their schedule. And again, last but not least, we have Jesus against Man U. He might repeat that performance like he did in game week 2 against Leicester, but likely not against Man U, since Man U is starting to show more signs of life. Fixtures coming up. I'll likely keep Jesus in until they play Liverpool, or perhaps Tottenham. Tottenham's looking good too. Alright, so there you have it. They are my selections for game week 6 of FPL. Please like and subscribe. My name is Simon Berrycloth. Toodaloo until next time. This is EPL Fantasy Tips on YouTube.